Is Freddie Freeman as good as gone from the Atlanta Braves? That is what is out today. We're going to dive into that. Braves fans, don't fret. We're going to get through this together. We're going to dive into what could the Braves do if they do indeed lose Freddie Freeman, and where might Freddie go? Dodgers, Yankees, a mystery team. Blue Jays were once mentioned for Freddie Freeman. We're going to get into all of that. What could the Braves do? Who could they go and get? Where might he land? Why would he be a good fit in those destinations? So we're going to get into all of that. Make sure to hit that like, show your support for the channel, for the video by hitting that like, and let me know, do you want Freddie Freeman on your team? Do you want your team to go and get him? If you're a Dodger fan, a Yankee fan, a Blue Jay fan, a Padre fan, the Padres talk about going and trading for Matt Olsen. Could they get into the Freddie Freeman industry? There was talk that the Texas Rangers were in on Freddie Freeman before the lockout. Again, comment below, let me know what you think, and hit that like. And as always, subscribe. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, just finding us for the first time. Don't want you to miss any of the upcoming content. And repeat viewers, make sure to subscribe, because you'll be able to find your way back to the channel a lot easier if you are subbed. So let's take a look at this. Again, here is the tweet. This is from the BR Walkoff. There's also been a couple other places that have put this out there, that the growing belief is that Freddie Freeman will not return to the Atlanta Braves. That is per Buster Olney. Buster the other day put out his report, 8 things that will happen after the lockout, and I want to get into that because that is exactly where this comes from. So let's get into that. Here it is. 8 things that will happen. Here's the excerpt from it on Freddie Freeman. The industry view has shifted, originally thinking that Freddie would go back to Atlanta. There is a growing belief that Freeman will land somewhere outside because of the standoff in his negotiations. Remember, Freddie Freeman hopes to have his extension done last spring training, and it didn't happen. Braves offered $135 million over 5 years, sources say, and Freeman is looking for a 6-year deal. The Braves have been hesitant to give him that, whether it's because they were waiting for the CBA thing to shake itself out to see if there would indeed be a universal DH where they could park Freddie Freeman for the last year or two of that contract. Maybe one of the reasons why they didn't want to go to 6. But, now the CBA looks like it's going to work out. We'll have a universal DH. All that'll work out. But Freddie, at this point, is aggravated with how things went. Now, let's take a look at Freddie Freeman. Is there any drop-off coming? Now, here's the thing. He's going to be entering his age 32 season. So, the peak age years, that window is going to start closing. I give you age 27 to about 31 or 32. Those are your peak age years. You're building up to it before that, and you're going to start to see a slow decline. Some can extend it for an extra year or two, but you'll start to see the skills diminish the further you get into your 30s. Had a great year in 2021, won the MVP in 2020, was all building up in 2018, 2019. I do highlight this. 2021, those doubles went from 23 the year before, and 34 and 44 and 35 and 43 to 25 last year. Now, that could be a blip, that could be nothing, but that was interesting. Because of that, his OPS dropped to 896. That was, we've been used to seeing Freddie well over 900 many of the last few years, but still, really great player, heart and soul of the Atlanta Braves. He is Mr. Brave. He is the leader of that team, and Atlanta fans, I know you don't want to lose him. So what could be the options for Atlanta if they do lose Freddie Freeman? Well, you could trade for Matt Olsen, and it is out there that the Braves have done their due diligence on a potential trade for Matt Olsen, and that would be a great way to go. We'll dive into that further in just about a minute. They could sign Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo is available. Don't have to give him a long-term contract. Could probably get a 3 or 4 year deal done with him. You get playoff experience. You get veteran clubhouse guy. You would get some good stuff back from Anthony Rizzo. Does he have the same ceiling as Freddie Freeman right now? Probably not, but you can still get some good quality play out of Anthony Rizzo. What about just a filler for first base? Somebody like Brad Miller or Colin Moran or Donovan Solano can play first. Why don't you just get a filler to play that first base spot and get a big bat at another position? Trevor Story, Kyle Schwarber, Chris Bryant, Nick Castellanos, Soler or Rosario. Bring one or both of them back. Go get Michael Conforto. Do they take the money that they were offering Freddie Freeman and throw it at another bat. You could bring Schwarber in to play first base. I do believe Kyle Schwarber could play a very adequate first base. I'm not worried about that whole thing in the postseason where he threw it away. We can dive into that another time. We have talked about it before, but I think maybe he could be the first baseman. That gives you a playoff experience. It gives you power. Maybe Schwarber's the way to go. And you could also pencil him in left field and DH and all that. So those are the options. What do I think is maybe the best option for Atlanta? I've talked about it. I have the video up saying the number one target for the Braves out of the lockout should be Matt Olsen. I also did a Freeman versus Olsen video. I've got this thing covered from every angle, people. So I did my video, Freeman versus Olsen, where we took a deep dive into each player. We're going to focus on Olsen right now. Look at his percentiles. The man is in the 80th plus percentile for average exit velo, hard hit rate, the barrel rate, the walk rate. He is, and the chase rate is a 76 percentile. You like that, right? You got a guy that is not chasing pitches out of the strike zone. He's not in the bottom of the league. The only thing he's in the bottom of the league is that sprint speed, and you expect that. So Matt Olsen gives you all of the metrics that you want. Here are his stats. Some people want to throw out there that they haven't seen enough from Matt Olsen. I don't know how you're looking for anything more than what he's done over the last 4 years. Only once, 2019, did he not stay healthy throughout the entire season. 162, 60 out of 60, 156 out of 162. You've got a 30 homer guy at the least. He's entering those prime age years, those years that I just talked about that Freddie Freeman is leaving. Matt Olsen has just entered them, and he's cheaper. So great numbers from Matt Olsen. I'm buying what he's doing. And again, we did the tail of the tape. Both of them had good percentiles, metrics. The defense, they're both good defenders. You have the age on Matt Olsen's side. You have the postseason experience with Freddie Freeman. But I like that age. I really do. I know postseason leadership is important, but so is being young. He's a home run monster. He's going to hit more home runs than Freddie Freeman. Only in his second year of arbitration. So you've got this upcoming year and next year in arbitration. So you're not at a $30 million a year player for Matt Olsen. So you can go do other things to improve the team in other areas, right? That's another element here. You could sign some veterans on a 2-year deal and get Olsen and that veteran for the same amount of money that you might have gotten for Freddie Freeman. And now, Braves fans, you might not care. You might want Freddie Freeman or bust. But I'm telling you, Matt Olsen, honestly, from an outsider looking in, Matt Olsen is the way to go if you can get that trade done. That's the thing. Freddie Freeman, you're just giving money. Matt Olsen, you're going to have to give trade pieces. But I think you could probably package in a deal with Pache and another pitching prospect and a couple other pieces. You could get a deal done with Oakland for Matt Olsen. Now, what does the Braves lineup look like on Fangraphs right now, today, as of recording? This doesn't work. Swanson, Albies, Riley. Love Albies and Riley. Ozuna, Duvall. We like Duvall. Darno Arcia is listed as the first baseman. And you got Waters and Pache. And now remember, Acuna will be back. So you have to figure him in at some point. But this just doesn't work. You won the World Series last year. You don't want to give up on the World Series again this year. This doesn't work. You add Acuna when he's healthy. You add Matt Olsen. And you add Jorge Soler. Or Rosario, all of a sudden you've got a team that's going to be right back in the World Series conversation. So this has to get improved. This doesn't work. Where could he go? The big one that's been out there for a while now, it's the Dodgers. That is where it seems most likely headed. I know there's another team on the East Coast that wants to push back on that. We'll get to the Yankees in just a minute, but the Dodgers, that is where it seems to be likely headed. What would the lineup look like with Freddie Freeman in LA? You go Betts, Trey Turner, and then Freddie Freeman, followed by Muncy Smith, then Turner, Bellinger, Taylor Pollock. I understand this is going to This will change depending on if it's a righty or a lefty on the mound. But for the most part, this is what you could predict. And Bellinger, I think if he's hot, if he's the Bellinger he was from 2020 and 2018, and not the Bellinger from last year, you're obviously moving Cody Bellinger up. But this lineup is insane. This lineup is borderline not fair. Now, why do you do this if you're the Dodgers? Obviously, you want to try to win the World Series this year, but also you don't know if Trey Turner is going to be an easy re-sign. What if Trey Turner doesn't want to go back to LA? What if Trey Turner goes and gets a bigger offer from anybody? The Mets, the Angels, the Phillies. What if Trey Turner gets a better offer somewhere else? Just like what happened with Seager. Seager went to the Rangers. The Dodgers have money. They were offering contracts to Seager and to Scherzer. They just lost them. So we know they have money for Freddie Freeman. So get that money, repurpose it. You can add Freeman in. And let's say Trey Turner doesn't re-sign at the end of the year. You're infield next year. Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy, Turner, I believe they have an option. They may or may not have the option. But even if they don't, you got Taylor and you got Lux. You have another. You're getting ahead of a potential problem by signing Freddie Freeman because you don't know for sure if Trey Turner will be back. And maybe they do know at the front office if Trey Turner is likely to re-sign. And if he's not, then they will back the truck up and do everything it takes to get Freddie Freeman if they know internally we don't have a shot at re-signing Trey Turner. So get Freddie Freeman. So the Dodgers certainly make a lot of sense. They're trying to retool. They want to get back and be World Series champions. How about the Yankees? Yes, the Yankees want to get it. It makes sense. They need somebody that gets on base. They need somebody that gets hits and home runs, not just home runs. They need somebody that can drive in. They need the lefty bat. They need a steady first baseman. They need the glove. Let's take a look at what the Yankees lineup would look like with Freddie Freeman. You got DJ LeMahieu at the top, followed by Freeman. I think Freeman probably bats second, Judge third, Stanton 4, Gallo 5, Glaber 6, and then Hicks, Sanchez, and Urshela go 7, 8, 9. I feel like this is your Yankee lineup, and this looks pretty good too. We just talked about how good that Dodger lineup looked. This Yankee lineup, when you go Freeman and Judge, that is really good. So why do they need them? Everything we talked about, the glove work, the lefty bat, the ability to get hits and homers. They hit a ton of home runs last year, but they didn't get enough doubles and singles. So the home runs just didn't have the same impact because, again, there were fewer times people on base. So the Yankees get that with Freddie Freeman. They get the playoff experience, all that. But here is the only hiccup with Freeman to the Yankees. He's going to be a $30 million a year guy. Can you, as the Yankees, run out 4 players making $30 million or more? Garrett Cole, Stanton, Freeman, and Aaron Judge. If you get Freddie Freeman, you might have to be making a tough decision on Aaron Judge because I don't know how they can have 4 $30 million a year players. That's the thing. And Judge sort of, kind of, maybe did, maybe didn't, hinted, depending on how you read the language, that he wants to get a contract extension done before spring training. Now, that might have just been how he said it, not really what he meant, but it seemed like he wants to get a contract extension done before spring training, doesn't want to worry about it during the regular season. Again, depends on how you read into his quotes from CC Sabathia's podcast. But you could be in a situation where if they get Freeman, might be tough to bring Judge back. And then Yankee fans, you have to make a decision. Who would you rather have, Freeman or Judge? You got to comment and let me know what you think. And then, of course, after the Dodgers, after the Yankees, there's the potential mystery team. You know there could be a mystery team that creeps up into the situation. So who could those mystery teams be? Well, Toronto had their name linked with Freeman and the Blue Jays before this all got locked out. The Blue Jays were up there. The Rangers, again, there's been some reporting that the Rangers were interested in Freddie Freeman before the lockout. Now, the timing on that was that before they did their deals with Seager and Simeon, so might prevent them from a third mega contract. I don't know how the Rangers could do another one, but they were interested. Could they get into the mix here? The Padres are talking about trying to get rid of Eric Hosmer, trading for Matt Olson. What if they can't get the Matt Olson deal done? Because the prospects that Oakland wants back just go and spend the money on Freddie Freeman. So the Padres, maybe they get into this. And the Red Sox, listen, wherever the Yankees are, I don't think that the Red Sox are too far behind when it comes to free agents and trades for big names. I can see it. Now, vice versa, I'm not saying the Red Sox are the Yankees' little brother. Wherever the Red Sox are, the Yankees will be not too far behind if we're talking about key free agents and key players. So maybe the Red Sox step up as a potential for Freddie Freeman. They're at a spot where first base, is Bobby Dahlbeck the future answer there? I don't know, maybe. But if he isn't, if they don't feel like he is, Freddie Freeman certainly would be. And if you're the Red Sox, if you could take Freddie Freeman away from the Yankees, there's another win. So the Red Sox, I think maybe they, again, emerge as a mystery team that could be looming in the background. This is going to be fascinating, everybody. I want you guys to comment below. Let me know what you think. What's going to happen with Freddie Freeman? Where's he going? Is he going to leave Atlanta? Is he going to the Dodgers? Is he going to the Yankees? Will he end up somewhere else? And Braves fans, what do you want if you lose out on Freddie Freeman? I want you guys to comment below. Let me know what you think about this whole Freddie Freeman situation. It's going to be interesting to watch and play out. BALLCAP Nation, I salute you. You know I do. I appreciate everything you guys have done for the channel. Everybody make sure to like, show your support for the video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And subscribe if you're just finding the channel for the first time or don't want to just, you're a repeat viewer, but don't want to miss out on future content. Subbing is the best way to stay up and stay close to the channel. All right, everybody, I appreciate you spending some time with the channel. I truly do. I will add some links to some of my other off-season content for you to check out here now. And as always, thank you for watching my video.